Okay, this is part 4 of the critiques, and we'll move right along. This is Batman. You talk about the 80s music fashions, and you need to work on your vocal variety so you don't end up talking like this without having any kind of change. There are 5 things you can control. We talked about this several times: pitch, pace, tone, volume, and silence. Work on all 5 of those. All right, I cannot see your visuals. Don't drop your sentence endings like that. Don't drop your sentence ending. All right. Start and finish strong, every sentence. This was an interesting topic, but you need to present it more conversationally. Tighten up the camera shot. Make sure you have that. I have no outlines. I can't see Michael's glove, whatever the things were you were trying to feature there. And while I couldn't see your visuals, you did handle them well. So that's a plus there. In terms of visual aids, you need to make sure they're a little more appropriate. You have no outlines. That's a problem. So there's several points. If you look in your speech critique sheets, you will see how many things depend on the outlines. So that had a serious effect on your speech. Lengthwise, not bad. All right. Now we're to what I think was the best speech of the lot. It came in, and I don't have the name for this person. Let me see if I have it here. No, I don't have it real fast. But the topic was the Columbia Space Shuttle. And this was kind of a first-person speech. This individual is apparently a surveyor, and upon hearing of the Columbia Space Shuttle tragedy, volunteered to go to Texas and help recover whatever could be recovered from the space capsule. It was an excellent, excellent job of storytelling. A little iffy on your sources, but I'm not going to quarrel about that because your credibility was clearly established from the beginning, and in a sense, you are your own source. That doesn't work in most cases, but in this case, it worked. This was just about as good as you can do in a speech. It was an excellent first-person storytelling speech. Watch the tisk. You're a little dark, and as a result, you had this problem with your visuals. You put them on a TV screen behind you. The brightest thing the camera sees happens to be the picture from the video. As a result, the camera iris is down. When it iris is down, I have trouble seeing your face. But overall, I have not had very many speeches that there were no A's, F's, or P's anywhere along the line in the speech. My hat is off to you. It was a compelling speech. It was an interesting speech. It was a speech, one of the lines, I've even told other people about what you talked about. You talked about recovering a patch. Nothing of the astronauts themselves was recovered, but you recover a patch. One of the experiments, I think you said, was something with earthworms, and they recovered the earthworms. That's amazing. And then you did send along copies of what your visuals were, and I wish that you would have had a way for the audience to have seen those the way the copy shows them. But a huge airline hangar with an outline of the shuttle itself and wherever the pieces that were found went. And my God, there weren't very many big pieces there at all. So congratulations on a wonderful speech. Here's another one with nothing, another one with nothing. And now we're into Mused. And Mused talk about homing pigeons. Now, you know what was interesting was you were outside, in a sense, or at least you were out in a kind of a patio area, screened-in patio area, and I could hear a lot of traffic noise. And I expected you were there because you were going to show me a pigeon. You didn't. This was like screaming for showing me what it is you're talking about. It wasn't a bad speech, but you built a kind of anticipation. This was a good topic, well presented. There was a lot of traffic noise and wind noise because of where you were. And then that brings me to what I was just referring to, is why did you do this outside? You didn't show me a pigeon, so I don't know. You talked about flying high. You need to fix your camera shot. You're cutting off the top of your head. There are a lot of distracting noises. You talked about Reuters news service. It's Reuters, not Reuters. And you should say it as Reuters, not Reuters. I couldn't see your visual aids very well, so judging how appropriate they were to this speech left a little bit to be desired. Again, the number of sources becomes a little bit of a problem in there, but a decent job, and one that you can certainly build on. All right, now the next speech that you have to give is a persuasive speech. A persuasive speech is one that requires a whole bunch of things that you may or may not have gotten into yet. 7 to 10 minutes is the length of this speech. Don't forget the audience. You need a speaking outline and a preparation outline. The speech should be delivered extemporaneously, which means that it needs to be prepared in advance. It means rehearsing it. It means that you need to speak to me, not at me, and that you need to work on getting it organized ahead of time. Please read the description of the requirements for this speech. There are 300 points riding on this speech. You need at least 4 sources for this speech. And do I see anything else here? All right, at least 1 visual aid is required for this speech. Now, you've heard all the comments about visual aids. You've heard all the comments about citing sources in the speech. Because of that, and because I've gone over it ad infinitum, or might even say ad nauseum, I'm going to hold you to a higher standard of sources and visuals. All right? Remember this too. You cannot speak about anything you have already talked about. No more of anything you've already done on. I will not accept any speeches on abortion or capital punishment. All right? Those are 2 of the ones that have been overdone, and there's not much new to say there. So work on something to persuade. Think in terms of a topic that is interesting and compelling, and then tell me a story about it. Make sure that it's understandable about what your credibility is in the topic, and also you might want to say why it is you picked that topic. That'll also speak to the credibility issue. All right, have a great weekend. Don't forget about all those points you're leaving on the table. 60 more points left in discussion boards, 390 in speeches, 40 in exams, 490 points left in the semester. If you have any questions, as always, give me a call. Remember, I do not respond to anything you leave in Blackboard. You must send me everything either as an email attachment, or you can call me, but I do not read or even look for things in Blackboard from you. It's also listed in the syllabus. All right, have a good weekend, and we look forward to the final speeches because we're in the downhill side of all of this. Have a good one.